In the heart of the towering Andes, where the wind whispers ancient secrets through jagged peaks, lived a young boy named Diego. Unlike the other villagers in his small, quiet community, Diego heard more than just the wind. He heard music, a faint, beautiful melody that seemed to drift down from the highest, most mysterious mountain. Jets, just the wind playing tricks on your ears, little one, his grandmother would say, her knitting needles clicking like tiny crickets. But Diego knew it was something more. The tune was too perfect, too harmonious. It called to him, pulling at his curiosity like an invisible thread. One bright morning, with the sun just beginning to warm the frosted landscape, Diego decided he could no longer ignore the mountain's call. He packed a small bag with a piece of bread, a canteen of water, and a heart full of determination. As he began his climb, the village looked smaller and smaller below, a tiny patch of life in a vast rocky wilderness. The higher he went, the clearer the music became. It wasn't just a single note, too. It was a symphony of sounds, like 1,000 tiny bells ringing in perfect harmony. The wind grew stronger, trying to push him back, but the melody pulled him forward. He followed the sound, his ears guiding him past giant condors, circling high above, and sure-footed vicucas, grazing on sparse patches of grass. The music led him to a place he'd never seen before, a hidden cleft in the rock face, almost completely concealed by overgrown shrubs. A cool breeze, carrying the beautiful tune, flowed out from the darkness within. Taking a deep breath, Diego pushed aside the hanging leaves and stepped into the mouth of a cave. His eyes needed a moment to adjust to the dim light, and when they did, he gasped in wonder. Zeg! The cave was a cathedral of light and sound. Its walls weren't made of ordinary rock, but of countless crystals, each one glowing with a soft, internal light. They ranged in color from deep amethyst purple to a pale, shimmering blue, like captured starlight. Hesitantly, Diego reached out and touched one of the smaller crystals. The moment his finger made contact, it released a pure, clear note that vibrated through the air and into his very bones. He touched another, a larger one, and it sang a deep, resonant tone. The cave wasn't just a cave. It was a living instrument, and the crystals were its strings. Diego spent what felt like hours in that magical place, creating his own music. He discovered that by touching the crystals in different sequences, he could create beautiful melodies that echoed the song he had heard from his village. He was so lost in the music that he did UNT, the heavy footsteps and gruff voices approaching from outside. Suddenly, the sunlight was blocked by the figures of several men standing at the cave's entrance. They were miners, their faces smudged with dirt, and they carried heavy hammers and picks. Their eyes widened, not with wonder, but with greed as they saw the glittering crystals. "Look at this! We'll be rich!" one of them shouted, his voice echoing harshly in the sacred space. They raised their heavy tools, ready to smash the beautiful crystals and shatter the cave's music forever. Panic seized Diego. He had to do something. Thinking fast, he ran to the center of the cave and began to play. He didn't just tap the crystals. He played them with all his heart, pouring his love for the mountain and its song into every note. He recreated the melody that had first called him there, a song of peace, beauty, and ancient wonder. The music swelled, filling every corner of the cave. As he played, the crystals began to glow brighter and brighter, their light intensifying with every note until the entire cavern was filled with a blinding, beautiful radiance. The miners stopped, their hammers frozen in midair. They lowered their tools, their rough faces softening as the powerful, otherworldly music washed over them. They weren't just hearing it, they were feeling it. It spoke of the mountain's soul, of a beauty that was far more precious than any gold they could dig from the earth. When the final note faded, a profound silence filled the cave. The The lead miner looked at Diego. His eyes filled not with greed, but with awe. Without a word, he turned and led his men away, leaving the cave and its singing crystals in peace. Diego smiled, knowing he had saved the mountain's song. He had learned that nature has its own music, a language of its own, and if we just take the time to listen, we can hear the most wonderful things, too. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed the story, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more adventures from around the world. We'll see you next time.